بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مشاهدي الكرام، طلبة وطالبات دبلوم التعليم العام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم معنا حلقة جديدة من حلقات برنامج درس على الهواء. هذا البرنامج الذي بدأ في دورته الجديدة، دورة العام الدراسي الحالي 2016-2017 للميلاد، ابتداء من يوم الأحد 8 من يناير الحالي، وسيتواصل بإذن الله حتى يوم 29 من ذات الشهر، متزامنين مع امتحانات نهاية الفصل الدراسي الأول. هذه الامتحانات التي ستبدأ بإذن الله يوم الأحد القادم تاريخ 15 يناير. حلقة اليوم لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية، والتفاصيل ستكون حاضرة بعد قليل، كونوا معنا. تحية لكم مشاهدي الكرام، طلبة وطالبات دبلوم التعليم العام، أهلا بكم، ونتواصل معكم برنامج درس على الهواء، وحلقة رابعة من حلقات البرنامج بالتأكيد نخصصها لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية. هذه المادة التي ستأدون الامتحان عليها إن شاء الله في نهايات الامتحانات على تاريخ 26 يناير بإذنه تعالى. قبل أن نبدأ الحلقة، وهي الحلقة الثالثة بالتأكيد، فقط نتحدث عن بعض التفاصيل الخاصة بالتواصل في البرنامج. أرقامنا اللي هي معروفة بالتأكيد. صار تعديل بسيط على حسابنا في التويتر، ربما أيضا مثل ما تابعتوا الحلقات الماضية لم يتم تفعيل الحساب، لكن بإذن الله ابتداء من هذه الحلقة سيكون الحساب مفعل. هو حساب جديد ظاهر الآن على الهواء، اللي هو @moe_doei @moe_doei. وإحنا حطينا تغريدة قبل شوي على هالحساب، تحطوا أسئلتكم تحت التغريدة، يعني كأنها ملاحظات أو كأنها ردود على التغريدة، يعني ما كل واحد أنه يحط تغريدة منفصلة، لا، تحطوا تغريدات تحت التغريدة اللي احنا حاطينها، اللي هي التغريدة أنه تضعوا هنا أسئلتكم في مادة اللغة الإنجليزية، فتضعوا استفساراتكم تحت التغريدة هذه. أيضا صفحتنا على الفيسبوك هي الصفحة نفسها، وتحطوا أيضا ملاحظاتكم تحت المنشور أيضا الخاص بذلك. اسمحوا لي باسمكم أن أرحب بضيفتي في هذه الحلقة، الأستاذة فاطمة بنت عبد الله البريكية، معلمة لغة إنجليزية. أستاذة فاطمة، أهلا بك معنا.
أهلا وسهلا أستاذ.
يا مرحبا وسهلا. طبعا شو اللي بيصير في حلقة اللغة الإنجليزية الآن؟ راح نستعرض الورقة الامتحانية، بالكامل، كل الأسئلة اللي راح تكون موجودة إن شاء الله في الورقة الامتحانية. بعد ذلك راح نبدأ في تلقي أسئلتكم واستفساراتكم، الحوار معي كطلبة وطالبات باللغة العربية. عندما ينتقل الحوار للأستاذة فاطمة مباشرة نتحول إلى اللغة الإنجليزية. تفضل أستاذة فاطمة.
Good afternoon, all students. As you know, and as you have used here, we will start with the exam paper for the final examination of grade 12 students. As you know, this is the first page you have the instructions written for you in Arabic, and then we will move immediately to the questions. We will start with the listening question as it is in the exam paper, listening number 1. If you just look at the listening question, you have 2 listening questions, listening number 1 and listening number 2. Regarding listening number 1, it's going to be multiple choice question where you have to choose only one option from the 3 options provided for you. If we just look at the question, read the instruction carefully before you start answering the question. For example, we have here, you are going to hear a conversation between a husband and wife. Listen and shade in the bubble next to the correct option. So you have here an idea about the conversation. It's going to be between a husband and the wife, and then you have a question related to this conversation. Be careful when you answer this type of question. You should read all the questions in advance before the teacher come with the CD player. Why? Because this is going to help you to catch the answer quickly and easily, and even from the first time. Another advice I have for you in listening number 1 is that sometimes the questions, they don't come in the same order that you have in the exam paper. I mean in the script that you hear. For example, he's going to talk about number 1, then he will move to number 3, number 5, 6, 7, and back to number 2. So put this in your mind. That's why I'm telling you, read the questions, all of them, before the teacher comes with the CD player. Another advice for you in listening question is that sometimes you may hear the 3 options as we just had in grade 11 questions 3 days ago. They heard all the 3 options in the script they heard. But here, be careful. You only take the option which is answering the question that you have. For example, they will move into a new house in about 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months. Sometimes they don't say, for example, the answer with weeks or months. They say it with days. For example, in the script you will hear, they will move into the new house in about 30 days or in about 14 days. So here, if you have an idea, 14 days means 2 weeks. So be careful before you answer the questions and listen carefully to them, because listening a question, it's one of the most easiest question that come in the exam paper, and it's a question where you can easily get marks from them. So this is regarding number 1. Then after that, we will move on to, it has 7 questions. Then we will move to listening number 2. In listening number 2, actually, you have 2 parts. The first part, which is task number 1, for each question, write a short answer, not more than 4 words. It means you have here WH questions. You are going to read them carefully, and then you have to catch the answer that which is related to each question. Where did the workers who built the railway come from? So from the word where, you know that here you are looking for a place. Then we have here how long. How long was the line? And then here you have kilometers. So the answer will be about a number or something related to the kilometers. When was it completed? And here between brackets, it's written for you, they want the year. When was it completed? 2000, 1990, 1980. So the answers might be like this. What did the local people call it? The iron what? So you have to complete here the name. So I'm advising you here in this type of question, read the WH question carefully. And as you know, each word of the WH question gives you an answer of something. For example, if you have where, it's a place. If you have when, it's a time. If you have how long, it means here you have something related to number or duration or distance. Sometimes you have, for example, how many. Again, here you have number or you have how much. They are asking here about quantity. Sometimes you have the word what or why. Why asks you about reason. What asks you about something. to write the answer about something. So read all the questions carefully before the teacher comes. This will help you to answer the questions, inshallah, correctly. Then if we just go to task number 2, which is part number 2 of the listening question, you have here again multiple choice, and my advice for you in multiple choice is the same. Read all the options carefully, read the question carefully, and don't just put the choose the answer from the first word you hear, because you may hear the 3 options together at the same time. But be careful, what is the exact answer wanted from you for each one of them. Then after the question of listening, you are going to move to vocabulary question. Vocabulary number 1. In vocabulary number 1, you have 5 items from 1 to 5. You have a box. In the box, you have a text. You have to read the text carefully, and then you have to shade in the bubble next to the correct option. For example, introducing road safety skills to children is dash nowadays, is awful nowadays, essential, ordinary, or useless. So you have to choose the word that has meaningful that can make meaningful context to the whole text that you have here. Don't just take the words randomly and put them anywhere in the dashes. No, you should have none of these words, and most of the words that you are going to have in vocabulary question are actually from the book that you are studying. So here you have like 5 items, mean 5 questions, and if you just look at them, for each one you have to choose among 4 answers. Then if we just move to vocabulary number 2, 2 half and marks. It means each one of them has half a mark only. And this type of question, most of you keep asking about this type of question. Don't worry, relax while you are answering this, because most of the words that come in this type of question are non-words. They don't just bring for you ambiguous word. No. Most of the words are from the book, and if you get a new word, the new word that you will get, it's going to be from the word bank that you have already taken before or studied before in earlier grades. For example, we have here noun, a person who shows tourists where to go. Then we have here we have the word start with G, U. Then we have 3 dashes, told us about the history of the castle. So who is the person who shows the tourist where to go? For example, the answer here could be the guide. So again, read the description and read the definition carefully. This will help you, and also the part of speech, this will help you to get the word correctly. Is spelling important here? Yes, it is very important that you must spell the words correctly. If you have just 1 letter extra or 1 letter not there from the word, the whole answer will be wrong, unfortunately. If we move to grammar, we have got here grammar number 1. And again, in grammar number 1, we have items from 1 to 5. And the whole question of grammar number 1, it has 2.5 mark. Again, you have here a text in a box, and under them you have books of words. Actually, there are 3 extra words from the words that you have here, and also you have here 5 dashes. It means 8 words, 3 extra, 5, they can be matched to the gaps that you have here in the text. So read before the dash and read the word after the dash to guess what is the word exactly here in the dash that you can put. And the grammar rules that you have here, they are related to the rules that you have taken in grade number 12 and even in the previous grades, like for example the basic rules that you have already taken, and also with the prepositions and so on. Then if we just move to grammar number 2, You have here complete each sentence with one word only. For example, just put the exact word needed for this one. For example, we have number 6, I don't know dash to operate this machine. Can you show me? So you have here to put the word needed, and you have to spell the word also correctly in this dash. Number 7, if we go to it, my father has lived in this house dash several years. We know that with several years we are using the word for, so the answer will be for. So if you just focus on them, the words that you have to write in these gaps are easy words, mostly 3 letters, 4 letters. If they exceed, they will be like 5 letters. So it is important that you spell the words correctly. These are from the common words and the non-words that you are dealing with in the English book almost every day. And then we will move to the reading a question. As you know that with reading a question, it has changed like 1 year or 1 year ago. This type of question, reading number 1, we have 7 texts, short text, and under each text you have a statement. You have to read the statement, then go to the text up the statement and decide, is this statement true or false? So for example, we have here, Nano is a magazine. Read the statement first, then go to the text. Don't read the text and come back to the statement, because you will not gain here any profit. The only thing will happen is that you are going to waste your time. And actually in the examination you don't have that much time to spend it reading and then going back to the questions again. So read the statement, go to the text and decide, is this true or false? You can judge that the statement is true if the information in the statement matches the information in the text. But if the information in the statement has changed the information in the text in a way or another, for example, change in meaning, change in number, change in context, it means that this statement is actually false and not true. So here you have 7 statements and 7 boxes with information. And now we are going to move to reading number 2. Reading number 2, actually you have two paragraphs or text. They are mostly they come in a form of a letter or an email. You have to go directly under each text or paragraph. You have 3 multiple choice question. Read the question. For example, Ahmed's main language problem is reading textbooks, writing essays, having conversation. Read the statement, read the 3 options, then go to the text up and decide which one is the correct answer. So under each one of them you will have like 3 questions. If we move to the other one, which is reading number 2, it's the same. Sometimes you have the letter and the reply. Sometimes you have the letter for 2 different people. Sometimes it's letter or email and reply for the same letter or the same email. And here again you have 3, and you have to go to the text to find out which answer is the correct answer. If we go to reading number 3, it's going to be a long reading text. A long reading text, and it's followed by 2 types of questions. The first one is going to be short answer question, and be careful here for each question. Write a short answer, not more than 4 words. So the answer that you write should be not more than 4 words. It means don't copy a text or a paragraph, 2 lines, 1 line from the exam paper or from the text itself. No. Just take exactly the answer needed for each question. And it is the same with the listening. Read the WH carefully, word, and see what do they want from you. Not more than 4 words. Okay, for example, which one was reached first, the North or the South Pole? So you have to decide here. Number 2, when did cruise ships start going to the North Pole? So here we have when. They are asking you about the time. Which country do the cruises start from? Which country? So you have to decide the name of the country. How do passengers get information about Arctic animals? So you have here again to decide. Then if we just move to the second part, it's going to be task number 2. For each item shaded in the bubble next to the correct option, again, this is going to be multiple choice, and you have to choose the correct answer from the options provided for you. Read the question, go to the text. If we go to the last part of the exam paper, it's going to be the writing. We have actually 2 writing questions. The first writing question is, write at least 100 words on the following topic. These days, I rarely watch TV news. It only makes me depressed. Do you agree with this statement or not? Give your reasons. So they are asking you, do you agree or no, and give the reasons for this. So you have to read the statement carefully. You have to understand the statement to be able to write the essay or the writing on this type of question. You have to decide first of all, do you agree or disagree? This is the first step you have to do. The number 2, you have to draw for yourself, like in the draft of the exam paper, like something which is called the mind map. And in the mind map, put the topic inside, write 3 reasons or 2 reasons related to the topic, and decide if you agree or disagree. Make sure that your writing should be interesting, clear, and also well organized. So you have to follow the pattern or the form of writing the essay of opinion. The second type of writing, it's going to be like a story.
Move it up.
Okay, you have a set of pictures and a box. And you have almost 6 pictures and box with information or with words. These words are mixed, some of them nouns, some of them verbs, some of them are adjective. The first thing you have to do is look at the pictures. Try to understand what's happening here in the event or the scene of the pictures. Even think in your mind what's going on here. When you finish thinking, go to the box that you have here and see these words can go for which pictures, or you can use them, get benefit of them for you, which pictures. Then start writing. As you know, this is a story, so it should be in past tenses. Whether you use past simple or past continuous, but mostly you will use like past simple. In some sentences you may use past continuous. Anyway, you will start the story by the phrase once upon a time or one day, and then you will start giving the character, the people that you see here in the pictures name. Like, for example, the husband and the wife, the family, Salim and his wife, Ali and his family, and so on. Then you keep mentioning them till you end the story. You will also need to use connecting words, like, for example, and transition words, like moving from one sentence to another to just organize the events of the story. You may use, for example, one day Ali and his family went to the shopping mall. Then they, you will mention the event. After that, next, then, after that, till you reach the last picture, which is number 6, and see finally what happened finally. Okay, so be careful when you write them. Try to make your writing interesting, well organized, and even clear. That is with the exam paper for semester number 1.
Thank you, Ms. فاطمة. طبعا مثل ما شايفين كان استعراض للورقة الامتحانية لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية، نماذج الأسئلة وكيف أيضا ممكن تكون الأسئلة. أيضا خلونا نتفق على شغلة جدا مهمة، حتى الأسئلة اللي تبعثوها عن طريق تويتر أو عن طريق الفيسبوك لازم تكون باللغة الإنجليزية. ما رح نقرأ أي سؤال ورد لنا باللغة العربية أبدا، مهم أن تكون الأسئلة باللغة الإنجليزية. أذكر فقط أسئلتنا على صفحة الفيسبوك أو حسابنا على الفيسبوك @MOE_DOEI، هو هذا حسابنا المعتمد الآن عن الحساب السابق، وفي مجموعة أسئلة أيضا راح نبدأها. أستاذة فاطمة، عندنا ملهم الكشري. Hello, could the teacher give us advices to get full marks in listening and writing?
Okay. First of all, Mulham, with the listening, as I told you when I was explaining the exam paper, especially the listening question. Number one, feel or be relaxed. Try to be relaxed. Don't distracted by the environment around you. Even if you hear voice, sounds, whatever, just focus on the exam paper and on the listening script that you are listening to or that you are hearing. Read the questions in advance. Don't wait for the teacher to come with the CD player. Yes, you are going to have like 1 minute. But I know that there are individual differences among you as students. Some of you can finish reading the question in 1 minute. Some of you need 2 minutes. Some of you 5 minutes. Some of you 7 minutes to read and understand the whole listening question. So read the questions earlier, before the teacher comes. Even just when you receive the exam paper, start reading the question of the listening question. Try to understand each point in each part of the listening question. See what does each question want from you, and read the options if you have 3 options. Read the WH word carefully. This will put you in the environment and in the scene of the listening script that you are going to listen to. Number 2, when you listen, try to answer and choose, because you are going to hear the same script 3 times. I advise you always to start writing the answer from the first time. Why? Because you will keep the second time and the third time to check, to double check your answers. And even in the second time, maybe in the first time, some of the question you will not hear them. So you will need the second time to catch up with the other questions as well. So start to choose the answer from the first time. Not even this. If you hear the 3 options, like for example, they said 3 weeks, you have in the exam paper 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, and you hear them, all of them, you hear 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, listen exactly and look at the question that you have in the exam paper. What does it want from you? So this will help you to choose, is the answer 2 weeks, is it 1 month, is it 2 months? Sometimes they don't say 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. No, in the script you hear it 14 days or 30 days, and in the question you don't have 14 days or 30 days, you have 1 month.
Miss Fatma,
or 2 weeks.
we will go for break and then we will come back. فاصل، نعود ونكمل ما تبقى من درس على الهواء، وأيضا راح نعود لنفس الاستفسار اللي قرأناه قبل شوي. كونوا معنا. أهلا بكم أيها الأحبة مشاهدين لبرنامج درس على الهواء عبر قناة عمان مباشر. طلبة وطالبات دبلوم التعليم العام نتواصل معكم، وحلقة اللغة الإنجليزية. تحية أيضا متجددة لضيفتي هنا بالاستوديو الأستاذة فاطمة بنت عبد الله البريكية، معلمة لغة إنجليزية. أهلا بك معنا أستاذة فاطمة مجددا. ومثل ما اتفقنا الحوار معي راح يكون باللغة العربية مباشرة، عندما ينتقل إلى الأستاذة فاطمة يكون باللغة الإنجليزية، وكذلك الأسئلة عبر الفيسبوك وعبر تويتر. ناخذ أمل. أمل السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
كيف حالك يا أمل؟ شو أخبارك؟
الحمد لله بخير.
كيف صحتك؟ طيبة؟
طيبة الحمد لله.
من وين تكلمين أمل؟
من الرستاق.
من الرستاق، والنعم. شفتي الورقة الامتحانية، العرض مال الورقة الامتحانية شفتيه؟
أيوة شفته.
جميل. تكونت فكرة عندك أنه كيف راح يكون امتحان اللغة الإنجليزية، صح؟
أيوة معلوم.
جميل. إذن الآن مع الأستاذة فاطمة، ومثل ما اتفقنا أمل الحوار مع الأستاذة فاطمة باللغة الإنجليزية. تفضلي يا أمل.
Okay. Hello teacher. How are you?
Hi Amal, how are you? How is everything with you?
I am fine.
Okay, great. Yes.
Okay teacher. I have one question for you.
Yes.
Where we use right since and for in the يعني في the final exam في الامتحان.
Where you can write what? Could you please say it again?
Where we use right since and for.
Since and for. Okay. Okay, Amal.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question, Amal?
I was stuck in traffic for half an hour and hour is morning.
Okay.
And we have since I have been waiting for you since 3 o'clock.
Yes. I will explain about since and for, but I have a question for you, Amal, okay?
Okay.
Can you look at the screen?
What?
Look at the TV screen now and see the question. The question is,
Yes.
I wish I dash written my homework. What can we write here in the dash?
I wish I have. I wish I. I wish I since writing in my homework.
No. Try again. I wish I dash written my homework. What should you put here? What should you put here?
I wish I have written my homework.
Not have, had.
Had?
Yes, had, because this is past perfect, and we use past perfect with regrets if we have the word, the phrase I wish I, or if you have the phrase of if only. You have it. You have the rule in the book. Okay? I wish I had written my homework. I will explain for you since and for rule, inshallah, Amal. Thank you.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
إذن أمل تابعي، أستاذة فاطمة راح تشرح الآن أيضا اللي هو قواعد أو كيفية استخدام since and for. بعد شوي راح ناخذ اتصال آخر إن شاء الله. خليك جاهزة. تفضلي.
Okay. Amal, if you just look here, we know that we can use the words since and also for. If you just look here, we use since with perfect tenses, like sometimes we can find them in present perfect, or sometimes we can find them in present perfect continuous, and so on. We know that we use the word since. If we have like an event that happened to you, for example, I can say since my brother's birthday. So here we have it with a certain event that has happened to you. Or for example, since I was in, for example, grade 5, or since I was in the university. So here we use it with certain events that that have happened for you. Number 2, we can use the word since even with the proper time or date, like for example with the year. Like for example 1990. I can say since 1990 or since 2000. Okay? Also we can use the word since if I have time, but this time should be exact point of time. Like for example, since 3 o'clock. Or for example, since 2 o'clock. So here we have like part of the time. Since afternoon. Or morning. Or for example, evening, and so on. We can use, if you just look here, the word for. If I have, for example, a period of time, and this period of time can be even sometimes counted. Like, for example, for 2 days, or for 2 months, for 2 weeks, for 2 years. Even if I have hours, for 2 hours. 2 hours is not like 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock here, I'm determining the part of the day. But 2 hours, I'm counting the hours, or I'm counting the days, I'm counting the years, or the months, so on. Also, we have the word for, with some, part of duration of time, like for example, for a long time. Sometimes I can use it, for example, for several years or several days. Sometimes I can have it for centuries and so on. So if I have a duration of time that can be counted, or I can rely on it, it means that I can use the word for here, like for a long time, several years, for centuries, for ages. Sometimes you have the word ages in the examination, so be careful. Before it, you should put the word for, not since, because here we have a duration of time. But since, no, we are talking about a particular point of the time, like for example day or date, or sometimes we have like event. That's regarding since and for.
إذن إن شاء الله أمل متابعة. ناخذ آية، ناخذ اتصال آخر. آية، السلام عليكم. آية موجودة؟
الو، السلام عليكم.
ايش اخبارك آية؟
الحمد لله بخير.
كيف صحتك؟ كيف المذاكرة؟ تمام؟
الحمد لله زينة.
يوم الأحد ها؟
ايوه.
مستعدين إن شاء الله؟
ان شاء الله.
إن شاء الله. من وين آية؟
ولاية سمايل.
من سمايل، والنعم. مثل ما اتفقنا، وأيضا الأستاذة فاطمة بتعطيك سؤال في البداية. طيب؟ هو كذا سؤال تنشيطي، وإن شاء الله الإجابة عليه أيضا تكون سهلة، وبعد كذا تطرحي أسئلتك على الأستاذة فاطمة والحوار باللغة الإنجليزية. تفضلي أستاذة فاطمة.
Hello Aya, how are you?
Hello teacher, fine, thank you.
Are you ready for the final examinations?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I wish you all the best, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay, Aya, look at the screen and read the question. It's question number 2. She is really dash electronic stuff. What can you put here?
She's really, yeah.
By the way, Aya, this is from the book. And exactly from the sound bites. Yes, from the sound bites and from, I guess, theme number 1.
I don't know.
She is really,
She's really.
What can you put here? Electronic stuff, meaning that somebody likes something.
Yeah.
expressing likes and dislikes. But here we are expressing like in this phrase or sentence. She's really?
Like.
No. She is really into.
Into.
Yes, into electronic stuff. And into, it comes together as one word. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, Aya, what's your question?
Yeah, teacher, we know that we have lots of phrases and words in the books. So what's the perfect way to save the words or the long way words?
You mean to memorize the word or to learn them?
Yeah.
Okay. Aya, have you started from the beginning of the semester to revise these words, to practice the spelling on them, whether in the classroom or at home?
Yeah, we have the spelling with teacher, some words.
Okay, so having the spelling every week with the teacher, or sometimes even with between you and yourself at home, this actually helps you a lot to revise these words. So first of...
Yeah, but...
Yes?
Yeah. But we save a lot of them. But we have more words there.
Yes, yes.
Between the text and paragraphs.
Yes, actually the number of the words, if you just count them, they are going to be a lot. We have to admit this by a way or another. But anyway, practicing the word from the beginning of the semester, if we just say that you have started semester number 1 from the last of August till now we are in January, this actually, if you are keeping like a record for yourself, like a notebook, writing these words and practicing them every day, using the words, whether in the writing, if you use the words in the writing, use them in the speaking, everyday speaking in the class, or sometimes practicing them with someone close to you, like for example a friend, a classmate, a family member. This will help you. Number 2, I advise you, Aya, to go to Zawiyati, try to download the exam paper that you have there, and especially try to answer the vocabulary question. Because if you feel that you have difficulty in vocabulary question, the best way to get excellent mark in vocabulary is to practice answering vocabulary question. Try to print them, try to practice answering them, and see, do the words that you have revised or memorized still in your mind, or did they go somewhere from you? If you feel that you can still remember them, it means that the strategy you are using or the strategy you are following with vocabulary item is successful here. But if you feel that you still have not keeping the word for a long time, then go back again to the words. Try to, first of all, read them. Try to know the meaning of them in English or even in Arabic in your mind, and then try to close your book, keeps writing them, and open the book and check, are they correct or not? Okay?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Also, teacher, the sound bits come to the exam paper?
What?
The sound bits.
Sound bites?
Yeah.
Yes, actually most of you, you just ignore this. You may find these the phrases because they're in the sound bite. Sometimes you have phrases, sometimes you have grammatical questions, sometimes you have just like statements or questions or phrases that you can use in everyday life. And the exam that comes, the final examination of English language, actually testing you on information or knowledge that you can use in everyday life. From where you can get this? From the sound bite, because this teaches you a different type of phrases, of statements, sometimes how to ask a question, how to introduce something, how to express something. So expect that you can find them in grammar question, especially in grammar number 2, where you have phrase and you have to complete it, or a sentence and you have to complete it. So try to go there and study them very well. Inshallah, you will get excellent mark, Aya.
Thank you, Aya. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
وجه الشكر ايضا للاستاذ سعيد العمري اللي متابعنا، ايضا هو معلم لغه انجليزيه، كان عندنا ايضا في البرنامج في سنوات سابقه. ايضا مبادرته الجميله في انه ايضا راح يتفاعل مع اسئله الطلبه والطالبات على صفحتنا على الفيسبوك. شكرا لك استاذ سعيد. ناخذ ايضا سؤال من خلود التميمي. خلود, can you explain to us the grammar in page 37 in the course book?
Okay.
Page 37 in the course book, and how can we know when we use it? This is the part one of the question. There is another part.
Okay.
Okay. إذن خلود إن شاء الله متابعة معنا. It's your question. You can add new page.
From the plus here.
Yeah.
I don't know why it can't be added. So I will just erase it and come back again.
Okay.
Okay, if you just look here, Khulud, the rule that you have here is first conditional. And when we talk about first conditional, we are talking about actually two phrases together or two sentences together, and they are connected with the word which is used for conditions, which is if. If we just look here, we have an if clause with verb in the present tense used with main clause with the verb in the future tense. So we have two phrases, one of them in present tense, the other one comes in the future tense, called it conditional clause. It expresses a possible condition and its probable result. For example, if you get some training, you will find a job easily. Number two, if we don't hurry, we will miss our plane. So here we have if clause, and it comes in present and sometimes in present simple, and then we have the result clause which comes in the future tense. So you have to be careful here with this. Modal verbs are often used with first conditional if clauses to express variety of meaning, and here you have like necessity, advice, suggestion, permission, request, and possibility as we have. So just look here and see. We know even in Arabic we have if clause. In Arabic language grammar, it is the same with the English language grammar. So, for example, the phrase that comes after if here, or the tense that comes after if, it comes in present simple. Like, for example, we have if you study well, okay, then here we will have the answer. The answer actually comes in the future. If you study well, you will get excellent marks, or you will pass the exams. So as you can see here, if you just look here and see, we have here if, and then you have you study well. So this is the verb that we have here. The verb that comes after if comes in present simple, and then we have the comma, we have the second clause, and the second clause result comes in the future, which is will pass, okay? Because the subject that comes here is you, we have here study. But if the subject here changes to, for example, she or he, or for example, it, actually the verb here will have s, because we know that with the present simple, if the subject is singular like he, she, it, we add s to the verb. It's going to be like the following: if she studies well, the answer will be she will get excellent marks, or she will pass the exam. We don't have any problem here with will, because we know that the verb that comes after will should be infinitive. What does infinitive mean? It means no s, no ed, no ing is attached to the verb. So put in your mind, the phrase that comes attached to the word if should be in present simple. The other phrase should be in future. Okay? That's it.
Okay, Khulud, I hope that you follow us, and the answer is very clear too. You have part 2 in your question. I think she asked about what in the exam, what they start first, reading question or writing question?
It depends on them. It depends on Khulud, actually. Does Khulud feel that writing a question is easier for her? If you feel that writing a question is easier for you, start with it first and try to write. When you finish writing, go to the reading. But in the reading, be careful, you have multiple choice, you have short answer questions, you have 3 types of reading question, 3 types. Reading number 1, which is true and false. Reading number 2, which is multiple choice for 2 text, they could be letter, email, and their reply. And reading number 3, you are going to have a long reading text, and under them you have like multiple choice and short answer. Some students, they prefer to start with the reading. But if you start with the reading first, if you feel that you are stuck in one question, you face it difficult, don't sit on that question till you just waste the time of the exam. No. If you have any question you feel that it's difficult, or you cannot focus on it, you cannot get the answers, just leave it and go to another question. Or leave the reading as whole, go to the writing and finish it, go to the grammar and vocab, finish it, and actually you will finish the listening with the teacher, then go back again to the reading to find out the difficult question that you have missed. But don't leave the reading question not answered. Even if you feel that you cannot get the answer, or you don't know the answer, or you haven't reached the answer, don't leave the reading question, because you know that they have multiple choice, so you can choose anyone here and this time if you feel that you are stuck and you cannot get it. But don't leave them empty. Actually, we don't want to see in the marking center empty pages.
Thank you.
We want
Thank
you to answer
Thank
them.
you. Yusuf, how can I organize my ideas to write the opinion writing?
Okay. With the opinion writing, actually, as I said before, one of the things you can do is just the mind map. What does mind map mean? Is that read the first of all, the phrase that you have. Try to determine, do you agree or disagree? This is number 1. Understand the phrase. Try to decide, agree or disagree. For example, you have shopping in the malls is better than shopping in traditional souk. Do you agree or disagree on this statement? If you feel that you are with the statement, or you agree on it, you completely agree, you are with this opinion, you like the opinion, so try to draw a mind map, put the topic inside, and get 2 related ideas to support your opinion or your point of view. For example, shopping, you can write shopping malls are comfortable, convenient, they have AC, cold environment. So this could be one reason. You can talk on this. Number 2, you can write shopping malls are better. Why? Because they have, I can find their many brand things or items. I can get whatever I want in one place, which is in the mall, because many shops are in the mall. So by this, go to the writing page and start writing your opinion. Start with the introduction. Write 1 or 2 sentences in the introduction, which should be general sentences. Then after that, you end the introduction with you stating your opinion, like, so I agree that shopping malls are better than traditional souks for the following reasons, full stop. Then go to the second paragraph, or the first paragraph of the body, write about the first reason. And write 2 sentences or 3 sentences to support your opinion. Go to the second paragraph, write about the second reason. You can write from 2 to 3 reasons to support your idea. Finally, go to the conclusion and conclude your ideas again. Like, for example, in short, I think that shopping malls are better than traditional souk because they can provide me with different things in one place, and they, shopping malls are considered as cold environment for me. So like this.
So Yusuf, I hope you follow us and also get the answer. We will go to a call. Noor. نور. أيوة نور، السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
شو أخبارك؟
الحمد لله بخير.
كيف صحتك يا نور؟
الحمد لله.
كوني كذا مصحصحة ونشيطة معنا. كيف المذاكرة؟
الحمد لله زين المذاكرة.
تمام. من وين؟
من نزوة.
من نزوة. نور، كيف شايفة مستوى الأسئلة اللي تطرح في حلقة اليوم باللغة الإنجليزية؟ يعني كيف؟
متوسط.
متوسط. جميل. إذا إن شاء الله نتوقع منك كذا سؤال قوي بإذن الله. تمام. أيضا كيف شايفة الأسئلة اللي تطرحها الأستاذة فاطمة على الطلبة؟ هي أسئلة تنشيطية كذا مثل المذاكرة الجماعية. أيوة نور.
يعني
سهلة؟
نوعا ما سهلة.
نوعا ما. جميل.
صعبة.
جميل. لا إن شاء الله تكون سهلة، وأيضا الأستاذة فاطمة راح تعطيك سؤال الآن وإن شاء الله تجاوبي عليه كذا. تفضلي أستاذة فاطمة. نور.
Hello Noor, how are you?
How are you, teacher?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. What about you?
Page 5.
Okay, can I ask you a question, Noor?
تمام.
Okay?
Okay.
Look here. Look on the screen of the TV. They are not very keen dash modern shopping malls. What should you put here in the dash? They are not very keen dash modern shopping malls. What should you put here? I guess that this question will be easy for you, Noor. Yes, Noor?
Noor.
نعم.
Okay, give her the answer, I think, and...
Okay, Noor, the answer will be here on. They are not very keen on modern shopping malls, okay? And the question here is from page number 9 in the sound bites. So please, Noor, try to study the sound bites, okay? You may get a question in the final examination, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Now, your question you said is in page number 5?
Yes.
What is your question?
Grammar.
Okay.
I want a brief explanation.
Explanation of past simple and past simple passive?
Yes.
Okay, Noor. Okay. إن شاء الله.
تمام نور، تابعينا. شكرا لك. شكرا. تفضلي.
Okay, Noor. We know that we use past simple with the actions that happened and finished in the past. And there are some keywords that come to the sentence that makes it in past simple. One of the words that you can find and judge on it that this is past simple is the word yesterday. You also have the word ago. Like, for example, last. Like last week, last month, last year, and so on. You have sometimes a date in the past, like, for example, in 1990, in 2001, whatever. Anything related to the past. Sometimes you have the word which is the phrase in the past. Okay? This again means that you are here talking about past tenses. Now, whether the tense is past simple or past simple passive, you have to see one of the keywords before you judge, because we know that there are other tenses in English, like for example the present, present perfect, and so on. So these keywords will help you to determine that this is past. Now, past simple verbs or sentences, how are they different from past simple passive? If we talk about the passive, it means that the sentence here, I'm always telling my student that passive sentence means the sentence is lazy. How does the sentence become lazy? Because there is no subject in the sentence. At the beginning of the sentence, there is no subject. In past simple, you can see a subject, a sentence like, for example, she went to Muscat last week. So here, if we just look here at the order of the sentence, you have see, which is the subject, you have went, which is the verb in the past, and finally you have the object. So here we have a full sentence in English language, which is subject, verb, object. And the verb in past simple, we know that we have two types of verb, whether regular verb or irregular verb. Regular verb means the verb ends in ed. Like for example, he played football. Okay, for example, yesterday. He played football yesterday. So here what do we have? We have subject, verb, object. This is regular. This is the verb played here is regular. It ends in ed. The verb went here is irregular. It means the whole form of the verb change. So here we have what? This is simple past simple sentences. Okay? If we just move to the past simple passive. Passive, the sentence does not start with the subject like we have here. He went to Muscat. He played football. He drank, for example, 2 cups of tea, or he visited his family, he washed his car, and so on. No. What do we have? The sentence that we have here in the passive voice, sometimes it starts with the object, not with the subject, because passive means lazy sentence. There is no subject at the beginning of the sentence, as we have here. The subject could be pronoun or noun, as we know, but with passive sentences, they don't start with the subject. Let's take an example from the one. For example, we have here, mobile phones were not invented, okay, in the past, for example, or 100 years ago. Mobile phones actually is not the subject of the sentence, because here we didn't mention even who invented the mobile phone. Or sometimes we can say that the apples were eaten. Who ate the apple? We don't know. We didn't mention the subject. We didn't say, for example, Ahmed ate the apple. No. I just come, I didn't find the apple, and then I said the apples were eaten. Who ate the apple? Nobody is going to tell me. Why are we using passive sentences? We use them whether we want to focus on the action more than the subject, because the subject is not important. Sometimes with inventions, we need to mention the subject, or with written books. Sometimes famous people wrote famous books, so we want to mention them. We can write the sentence in passive, and we can mention the subject at the end of the sentence. Like, for example, we can say, if we just erase it like this, the apples were eaten by Ali. So we can mention the subject having the word by at the end of the sentence. So if we just look at them, past simple sentences, we have subject, verb in the past, regular or irregular verb, then we have the object. With passive sentences, we have the object at the beginning of the sentence plus verb was or were plus the past participle of the sentence. And we use was or were based on the object that we have here. If the object is plural, like for example apples, for example cars, mobile phones, in the form of plural we can use here were or were not for the negative. But if we have singular, like an apple was eaten, a mobile phone was invented, so it's only one. In the final examination, you have to focus on the part of the sentence, in the structure of the sentence, and even focus on something else, which is verb to be. The verb to be that comes after the object here, you should be careful with it. It depends on the object that you have here. Okay? If it is they, in the form of plural, like for example it has s, you have to put here were. If it is only one or singular, you have to put here was plus the past participle plus the complement of the sentence.
Thank you, Ms. فاطمة. فاصل، نعود ونكمل ما تبقى من هذه الحلقة. كونوا معنا. تحية لكم مشاهدي الكرام، طلبة وطالبات دبلوم التعليم العام. نتواصل معكم وحلقة اليوم من برنامج درس على الهواء، حلقة اللغة الإنجليزية. وذكر هناك حلقة قادمة إن شاء الله ستسبق الامتحان، ستكون يوم الأربعاء بتاريخ 25 يناير بإذن الله. الامتحان يوم الخميس تاريخ 26. التحية متجددة لضيفتي هنا بالاستوديو الأستاذة فاطمة بنت عبد الله البريكية، معلمة لغة إنجليزية. شكرا لك أستاذة فاطمة، وشكرا أيضا لعطائك ولحضورك هنا في البرنامج. ناخذ أيضا مجموعة أسئلة عبر صفحتنا على تويتر، واللي نوهنا أنه تغيرت أو تغير حسابنا، صار @MOE_DOEI. ناخذ استفسار. Hi, is spelling mistakes in listening is important? What about the spelling mistakes in listening?
Okay.
Most of students ask about that.
Okay, if we just look at the specifications of the final examination that we have here. Okay, let's look here. This is the marking guide that we get in the marking center. I want you to look at the notes that we have here, because I was sure that students are going to ask about this point. Note, 1 mark each. It means for each question you have 1 mark. Notes, grammatical mistakes. It means if you have a grammar mistake in the listening question, this should be ignored. For example, in the short answer it says how many passengers were in the plane. When you come to write the answer, you said they are 7 passengers. So the question asks you in the past, and instead of where you wrote are. So this is considered as a grammar mistake in listening. It should be ignored. It means we will not look at it as a grammar mistake, because we are looking for the answer, which is the number exactly. Then also, as long as the answer or the sentence is clear and can be get easily, okay, we'll go back to it again. If we have here spelling mistakes, when the student obviously know what the word and it was understood and what is meant, but could not spell correctly, should also be ignored as long as the word or the keyword is there. We can get it. For example, the answer is in singular and you wrote it in plural. You add es at the end of the word, but the word itself is there, and I am, as a teacher, I can read it, I can understand it, I know that this is the exact word that you mean. So in this case we will ignore the spelling. But if the word cannot be read, cannot be understood by us as teachers in the marking center, and we feel that you have written something far away from the exact spelled word, or you made like something not obvious with the word, we cannot get it, we cannot read it. In this way we will mark it for you as wrong. So try to write at least the first or the important letters of the word. The root word should be there correctly in the exam paper. Okay, certain key letters must be included. In cases where letters are optional, the misspelling must be close to the correct word. It means, for example, you wrote the word bank. Bank is very easy word, but instead of K you put C, or instead of A you put E. So here we have to consult as teachers. Can we mark it for you as correct, or is it a word that you must know it before, and should we put it for you wrong? So anyway, most of the words that come in the spelling question or in the listening question, the word that you write are going to be between your hands. Something which is easily be, for example, read. Some of the answers, like for example, the word New York. Some of the students, they miss some of the letters of the word New York, but I am, as a teacher, I can get it. This is New York, so we will mark it for you correctly. The root of the word should be there, or it should be close to the correct word to mark it for you correctly. Okay?
I hope it's clear. ناخذ اتصال. السلام عليكم. ندى.
وعليكم السلام.
ايوه ندى، السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
كيف حالك يا ندى؟
الحمد لله.
شو اخبارك؟ كيف المذاكرة؟ تمام؟
الحمد لله ماشي.
يلا مستعدين للأحد إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله. من وين تكلمينا ندى؟
صور.
من صور، من نعم. ندى، أستاذة فاطمة بتعطيك سؤال، وبعد كذا أيضا أنت ممكن تطرحي أسئلتك عليها، ومثل ما اتفقنا الحوار مع أستاذة فاطمة راح يكون باللغة الإنجليزية. تمام؟
Okay.
Hello Nada, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Alhamdulillah, fine. Look at question number 4. Omani people dash great traders in the past.
Hold up. Okay. Omani people were great traders in the past.
Excellent, Nada. Bravo. Excellent. Now, what's your question?
I'm just asking about the listening. Listening number 2. It's going to be 2 tasks, right?
Yes.
So about the person who is going to talk about it, he's going to say like task 1, and then he's going to repeat it 3 times. Then we'll say task 2, and he also going to repeat it, or he just will say listening to and say both of them.
No.
Do you understand it?
No, you will get first of all listening number 2. You will hear
Yeah.
the first part 3 times. Then you will move to part number 2 and you will hear it again 3 times.
Okay. That's
Yes.
it. Thank you.
Welcome.
شكرا لك ندى. ناخذ أيضا استفسار عبر تويتر من بثينة. Ask the teacher to explain how to write the essays paragraphs.
We have answered this, but if she wants, we can do it again.
No, you can see it inshallah this night when we put the program. It will be 2 times. One is after the news, after 10 news, and another time it will be tomorrow early morning at 5:30 inshallah. ناخذ سيف الفرعي. Should write an introduction and conclusion in writing 1 and 2.
Yes, in writing, especially for the essay, there should be introduction and conclusion. In writing number 2, which is the story, you start the story with, for example, once upon a time, one day, then you go immediately to the events of the story, and finally you reach to the last picture where you write finally, and you said what happened at the end of the story. That's it. But for essay, it should be clear. There should be a paragraph for introduction, and at the end, a paragraph for the conclusion. That's it.
أعتقد إحنا وصلنا لنهاية حلقة اليوم. فقط رد على بعض الاستفسارات من الطلبة اللي أنه ذكروا ليش الحديث يكون باللغة الإنجليزية. إحنا مهم يعني جدا أنه نمارس اللغة الإنجليزية، وهذه فرصة في البرنامج أن إحنا نمارس اللغة الإنجليزية. ربما كثير من الأسئلة أيضا الطلبة يسألوا أنه كيف إحنا ممكن نتعود على الحديث باللغة الإنجليزية، فإحنا أيضا ندعها فرصة، وبالتالي إحنا ندرس مادة، وأيضا اليوم نراجع مادة، وهذه المادة هي مادة لغة، فمهم جدا أن نمارسها كما هي كلغة إنجليزية. فاصل، نعود نختم الحلقة، كونوا معنا. إذن وصلنا لنهاية حلقة اليوم من برنامج درس على الهواء، والتي خصصناها لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية. الشكر الجزيل لضيفتي هنا بالاستوديو الأستاذة فاطمة بنت عبد الله البريكية، معلمة لغة إنجليزية. شكرا لك أستاذة فاطمة.
شكرا جزيلا. Thank you very much.
إن شاء الله راح تكون هناك حلقة أخرى للغة الإنجليزية. اللغة الإنجليزية الامتحان الأساسي غير امتحان المهارات اللي بيكون في الحلقة الأخيرة أيضا من البرنامج. اللغة الإنجليزية راح تكون بتاريخ 25، الامتحان تاريخ 26 يناير. يوم الغد الجغرافيا والتقنيات الحديثة. أذكر مواعيد إعادة هذا البرنامج عند بعد أخبار الساعة 10:30 إن شاء الله، وأيضا فقر اليوم التالي عند الساعة 5:30. نلتقيكم على خير، إلى اللقاء.